Dave Hester, known as the loud and competitive star of Storage Wars, quickly became one of the most recognizable faces on the show. Fans remember his trademark shout "Yoop" and his aggressive bidding style that often left others frustrated. But beyond the tough personality, Dave's journey took dark turns. In 2012, he shocked fans by accusing the network of faking parts of the show. He even went to court, claiming producers planted valuable items in lockers to make episodes more dramatic. This bold move got him removed from the series for a while, but eventually he returned. Just when it seemed like things might calm down, Dave suffered a medical emergency far more serious than a TV dispute. He had a hemorrhagic stroke caused by high blood pressure and sleep apnea. One moment, he was the loud voice of the auction, and the next, he was lying in a hospital bed, unable to talk or move. Fans feared the worst, and doctors weren't sure he would survive. Miraculously, Dave pulled through, but his health scare left a lasting mark. His story shows how quickly life can change. Even for someone who seemed larger than life on television. Mark Bellalo, often remembered by fans as Rico Suave for his flashy clothes and confident attitude, was another cast member who stood out on Storage Wars. He was always ready to bring stacks of cash to the auctions and outbid anyone who got in his way. Behind the confident smile, though, Mark was facing struggles that few knew about. In February 2013, tragedy struck when he was found inside his car at his auction house in Simi Valley, California. He had died from carbon monoxide poisoning, and authorities believed it was a case of suicide. Mark's passing shocked fans and fellow cast members because he had seemed so full of life on the show. Just days earlier, he had been arrested for drug-related issues, and it's believed that pressure of legal troubles weighed heavily on him. Despite the challenges, Mark had made a name for himself in the auction world and even helped recover a rare Action Comics #1 that once belonged to actor Nicolas Cage. His death at only 40 years old was a reminder that public confidence doesn't always show private pain. Among the many faces on Storage Wars, Gunter Nezoda stood out for his kindness and warm personality. He appeared alongside his son Renee, and the two became a fan-favorite team. Gunter wasn't flashy or loud. Instead, he brought humor and genuine kindness that made viewers love him. Sadly, in March 2023, Renee shared heartbreaking news. His father had passed away after battling lung cancer. Gunter had been a smoker for decades, and even though he had quit, the damage had already been done. His health declined rapidly, and doctors could no longer help. He spent his final days in Utah with his youngest son by his side. Fans were devastated, because Gunter was one of the few cast members who never attracted negativity or drama. He was simply loved for being himself. Beyond Storage Wars, Gunter was a talented bass player who performed with well-known musicians, and he had also appeared in a few movies. His passing left a big hole in the Storage Wars family, especially since he had just started becoming more involved in the show when illness took him away. Mo Prigoff, who appeared in Storage Wars Texas, was unlike anyone else on the show. With his unique sense of fashion, upbeat humor, and passion for rare antiques, Mo quickly became a memorable figure. Fans loved how he teamed up with Mary Padian, creating a duo full of charm and laughter. But Mo's life was more than just auctions. He was a podiatrist, an art lover, and a devoted husband. For over 30 years, he collected rare furniture and artwork, eventually opening his own store in Dallas, called River Regency Modern. Sadly, Mo battled illness for several years before passing away in March 2021. His death deeply saddened fans and colleagues, as he wasn't just a TV personality, but someone who truly loved bringing beauty into the world. His wife Michaela, whom he lovingly called "my wife for life," stood by him through his final years, showing the deep love they shared. Mo's passing reminded everyone that Storage Wars wasn't just about profit and treasure hunts. It was also about people who had passions, families, and legacies. Brandon Sheets, the son of veteran cast member Daryl Sheets, grew up on the show, often seen working side by side with his dad. Together, they made a strong team, bidding on lockers and hoping for big finds. But when the producers decided to cut Brandon from the show in 2017 due to budget issues, his life took a different turn. He moved on to other jobs, including real estate, and eventually working as a UPS truck driver. In 2022, Brandon faced a terrifying accident that nearly cost him his life. While asleep in the back of a semi-truck, his co-driver crashed into another vehicle at 70 miles per hour. Brandon woke up to chaos, and the crash left him shaken both physically and emotionally. Although he survived with minor injuries, the experience haunted him. He later shared his story online, criticizing EPS for not supporting him after the accident. Fans were shocked, realizing how close Brandon came to tragedy. While he didn't pass away, his near-death experience became another reminder of how fragile life can be. Even for those who once lived in the spotlight, and Dotson, alongside his wife Laura, has been one of the most recognizable figures on Storage Wars. Known for his fast-paced auction chant and upbeat energy, Dan seemed unstoppable. But in 2014, tragedy nearly struck when he suffered not one, but 2 brain aneurysms. It started with a headache and slurred words before his condition rapidly worsened. Laura rushed to his side as his body began to shut down, and doctors weren't sure he would survive. Miraculously, Dan pulled through, but the experience changed him forever. He later quit smoking and began focusing more on his health. As if that wasn't enough, in 2020, Dan and Laura faced another nightmare when their son Garrett was shot while visiting his girlfriend in Arizona. Against all odds, Garrett survived after doctors fought to save him during emergency surgery. These back-to-back tragedies showed the resilience of the Dotson family. While Dan continues to auction with his wife, fans now see him as more than just an auctioneer. They see a survivor who refuses to give up. Brandy Passante was one of the breakout stars of Storage Wars. Thanks to her natural charisma and her on-screen partnership with Jared Schultz, fans admired her wit, style, and confidence, which made her one of the most popular cast members. But, behind the success, Brandy faced struggles few knew about. In 2020, she revealed that fame brought disturbing challenges. She received threatening letters and unwanted attention that made her fear for her safety. At one point, she had to move into a gated community with full-time security just to protect herself and her children. On top of that, her long relationship with Jared ended in 2021, and soon after, he faced charges for domestic violence involving Brandy. While she didn't lose her life, Brandy described the experience as something that could have broken her completely. She later shared a tattoo that said "free," symbolizing survival and healing. Her story is a reminder that even those who seem strong on screen may face silent battles behind closed doors. Barry Weiss, nicknamed The Collector, was one of the most unique personalities on Storage Wars. Unlike other bidders, he didn't join the show for money but for the thrill of finding strange and interesting items. With his quirky style, rare cars, and eccentric humor, Barry quickly became a fan favorite. However, in April 2019, Barry was involved in a terrible motorcycle accident in Los Angeles. He and a friend collided with a car, and Barry was left with serious chest and leg injuries. Fans feared the worst when rumors spread online that he had died. Thankfully, Barry survived after multiple surgeries, though his recovery was long and difficult. The accident reminded fans just how fragile life can be, even for someone who always seemed untouchable. Although Barry stepped away from the show years ago, his near-death experience brought him back into public discussion. With fans sending him love and support during his recovery, Jared Schultz, once known as Brandy's partner on both Storage Wars and their spin-off Brandy and Jared, Married to the Job, was part of one of the most recognized couples on reality TV. Together, they seemed unstoppable, running their business and raising their kids while entertaining fans with their banter. But things fell apart behind the scenes. By 2021, Jared and Brandy's relationship was over, and they admitted it openly on the show. Not long after, Jared made headlines for all the wrong reasons when he was charged with domestic violence after a confrontation with Brandy at a bar. The news shocked fans, as the couple who once seemed inseparable now had their story end in heartbreak and scandal. Jared's downfall is not a story of death or illness, but it is a tragedy in its own way, showing how fame and pressure can sometimes tear lives apart. The cast of Storage Wars gave fans years of entertainment, excitement, and unforgettable moments. But behind the cameras, their lives were filled with struggles, heartbreaks, and even tragic endings. From the heartbreaking loss of Mark Belallo, Gunter Nezoda, and Mo Prigoff, to the near-death experiences of Dave Hester, Don Dotson, Barry Weiss, and Brandon Sheets, each story reveals the human side of reality TV stars. Brandy Passante and Jared Schultz's struggles also remind us that fame doesn't protect anyone from pain or personal battles. Together, these stories show that life can be fragile, unpredictable, and often more dramatic than anything shown on screen. When people watch Storage Wars, they often get caught up in the excitement of finding treasures and rare items. But what many viewers don't realize is that behind the cameras, these stars have their own struggles. Reality TV often shows the fun and entertaining parts of life, but it doesn't always highlight the pain and challenges the cast faces. When a beloved cast member passes away, it not only shocks fans, but also reminds everyone that these people are more than just TV characters. They are real people with families, dreams, and lives beyond the show. This is why the tragic losses of stars like Mark Belallo, Gunter Nezoda, and Mo Prigoff touched so many hearts. Fans didn't just see them as TV personalities, but as part of their weekly routine. Each death felt personal, almost like losing a friend you invited into your living room every time the show aired. These losses show the human side of television fame, reminding us that money and popularity can't protect anyone from life's harsh realities. The reaction from fans after these tragedies was strong and emotional. Many took to social media to express their sadness, share old clips, and write heartfelt messages about how much these stars meant to them. For example, after Gunter Nezoda's passing, fans from all over the world sent messages of love to his son, Rene. People posted favorite scenes of Gunter making jokes, laughing, and bidding on items, showing how his light-hearted nature touched their hearts. Similarly, Mo Prigoff's death left fans remembering his charm and humor. Many said they felt like they lost a family member because Mo always brought positive energy to the screen. Even Mark Belallo, despite his short run on the show, had fans mourning the tragic way he left the world. The audience realized how much pain someone can hide behind a smile, and it became a reminder for many to check on their loved ones more often. The deaths of their fellow cast